Hey, thanks for watching. My name is Justin Lang, aka Justincredible. I'm an arts ambassador and creative arts teacher here at ACA, Atlantic Center for the Arts, and we're in a new web series entitled Creativity and Wellness with Justincredible. We are exploring how art can be used to promote healthy living and a healthy lifestyle. Now, we've gone through expressing forgiveness through art. We've gone through processing trauma through art. Today, we're actually going to be talking about expressing self-love through art. Now, before we get into this, I just want to put out this disclaimer. I am not an expert in life. I know enough to know that I don't know everything. I do not have the answers to every single topic that we're about to discuss. The little that I do know is basically just wisdom and insight that I've gathered along this journey so far in life that I want to share with you all. Hopefully you all do the same. We're trying to continue this dialogue online, build an online community, and we want to spark creativity and wellness. So if there are any links, any articles, any YouTube videos that you think are appropriate, that have to do with creativity, that have to do with wellness, that have to do with the arts, psyche, relationships, pain, trauma, forgiveness, self-love, healing, all of those different topics, if they're appropriate, please put them in the comment section. Do not be shy in the comments. And by the way, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe right now. I'll wait. I mean it. Do it. All right. So let's get into it. Expressing self-love through art. Now, when it comes to self-love, in my opinion, the first thing that's most important is you need to have an identity. So the question on the table is, who are you? And I'm not saying what is your role, not your job title, your function, how many degrees you have, your upbringing, your culture, how you were raised, your religion, nothing externally, not about your looks, everything internally to your core, in your mind, in your heart, in your spirit, in your soul, deep down. Who are you? What are your qualities? What are your traits? What is your personality? Outside of any type of relationship, who are you? Now, it may take time for you to discover this. Some people, it's been a long time since they've done it. Some people have never done it. It's gonna take some time. Myself, it took me almost 30 years to come to terms that I am a silly, animated, passionate dude who is really in love, obsessed, and just fascinated with God, people, and the arts. And also, I'm a Batman nerd. I have several Batman tattoos that I may show you guys later. I don't know, probably not. So, who are you? That's the question on the table. I want you all to take the time to sit down and write down, ponder this outside of your relationships, outside of your job function, outside of all of your degrees, your culture, the color of your skin, how you were raised, your religion, anything that has to deal with anyone else, your style, your everything external, strip it away. Only look inside. Who are you? In your heart, in your soul, in your mind. Go ahead and do it. Now, on the artist side, one exercise that went really well with a group of students that I was teaching a workshop with, Exodus United. Shout out to Simba, shout out to all of Exodus United. Y'all are my babies and I love you. So, we did this exercise and I got it here. This is to find your identity as an artist. What is your lane? What is your cause? What is your path as an artist? And here's some questions. I created a list of 15 different questions that you can ponder on that'll help you understand more about your cause, your identity, your lane, your path as an artist. Number one, what do you love? Number two, what do you hate? Number three, what are you afraid of? Number four, what makes you angry? Number five, what confuses you in life? If you had to ask the Creator, if you had to go to God and say, you know what, I've always wondered in my lifetime, how does this happen, or why does this happen? What are those things that confuse you about life in general, or maybe in your own personal life? Number six, what do you want to heal from? Number seven, what makes you uncomfortable Or what are things that if you said out loud to your parents or to people that you know, maybe your boss or maybe your principal or maybe your pastor, it would make them uncomfortable? Number 8, what are some pains or traumas that you don't speak about or that you don't feel like speaking about? Number 9, what are causes that are dear to your heart outside of your own interests? Number 10, what are cultures, countries, and people that you care about that is outside of your country, outside of your heritage, outside of your culture that you care about? Number 11, what are problems in the world that you feel like you have the solutions to, or that you have at least a piece of the puzzle or a thought process, a different perspective that can aid in the solving of a worldwide problem? Number 12, if the most wealthiest, powerful person on the planet came to you and said, I will give you all the money that I have and I will solve every single one of your personal problems right now in an instant, but you had to do XYZ. What are things that are off limits that you wouldn't do? What are those X, Y's, and Z's that you like? I don't care how much money it is. I don't care how much personal satisfaction and gratification it is. I will never do this or that. What are those things? It'll help lead you more closer to what your values are and who you are as a person. Number 13, what are things your parents, your families, friends, and close loved ones, what have they said about you that you've identified, yeah, they're right. Yeah, you're right. That's me. They're lying. I'm not even gonna lie. That is me. I do act that way. I do this. Number 14, what are some things that your coworkers, managers, supervisors, employees, or former employees, former coworkers, former managers and supervisors, what have they said about you? What have they acknowledged about you? What have they said in annual reviews or monthly evaluations that you've identified? Yeah, you're right. You got me. You got me. That's spot on. They're correct about it. And number 15, last but not least, what are some things that classmates, teachers, administrators, or former teachers, former administrators, former classmates have said about you that you've identified, yeah, they're right? And also, social media has a way of distorting our identities and only putting one side and filters into who we are and the words that we say and just how we live life. It's not really real time. It's not really authentic. So don't allow social media to cloud your identity, and don't root your identity in social media. Make sure that you know who you are, that you understand your identity, because it makes it so much easier to love yourself if you know who you are. Second thing that I believe is important when it comes to expressing self-love is acceptance. Accepting who you are. I know that kind of sounds like the first point that I said, knowing who you are and accepting who you are, but those are kind of two different processes. Accepting who you are is really admitting the good, the bad. This is where you've come from. This is your history, all your past mistakes, all your past quote unquote failures, however you were raised. Now you're taking everything into account right here, right now. The good, the bad, the neutral, the indifferent. You're accepting it all. You're admitting this is who I am right now. This is who I used to be as well. And this is who I am. With acceptance, you're dealing with internal and external, all your physical features. I know some people, they can get plastic surgery, they can get all types of enhancements or reductions or whatever. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about accepting the way you are right now, this second, today, especially with your physical features. I know myself, I've had this dream for the longest time, man. I just wanted to be 6'10", dude. I wanted to be at least 6'2", 6'1", 6'2". I have finally accepted the fact that I'm probably not gonna be 6'1" or 6'2". I am 5'9" and a half, 5'10" on a good day. This is just who I am, man. I got big eyes. I got big brown eyes, man. I got little hands. I got this little hump in the back of my head. Like, this is who I am, man. These are my eyes. This is my nose. These are my lips. It is what it is. What you see is what you get, man. This is who I am. My personality, good, bad, and indifferent. There is power in accepting that and knowing that. One big killer to accepting who you are, which prolongs the self-love process or hinders it, in my opinion, is denial. Denying who you are, denying internal and external things about yourself, even, good qualities, bad qualities, good personality traits, bad personality traits, good habits, bad habits, things that you like about your facial features, or things that you like about your overall physical appearance, or things that you don't like, or things that you're just neutral about. Denying it is such a hindrance to self-love, because it's hard to love yourself if you're denying that parts of yourself even exist. As an artist, accepting your lane, accepting your path, accepting the gifts that you have. Maybe you have 2 gifts, maybe you have 3, maybe you're weaker at some skills, and maybe you're really advanced and really strong in certain other areas. That's fine, accept it. Some things you may be neutral at. Accept where you're at right now, because I have some good news later on. The third thing that I think is very important as far as self-love and expressing self-love through art is not defaulting to your negative traits or negative attributes off the bat. Now, I've dealt with this a whole lot, and I have to consistently reprogram myself and try to break this habit. Automatically, when you think of yourself, automatically when you think of your external physical appearance, your outside habits, your inner qualities, your inner traits, your personality, whether there's good, bad, or neutral, we automatically, some of us, automatically just default to the negatives. It's not denying it. It's not saying that that's not true, that those things don't exist. It's just, I don't feel like it's healthy if every single time when you think of yourself, every time you think of your personality, your physical appearance, your inner qualities, your personality in general, you're automatically defaulting to the negative. You're honing in and you're focusing constantly on the negative parts of yourself. I do not believe that that's healthy. In order to help process and help strengthen that self-love expression, even with art, is to not always default to your negative attributes, negative physical features, and negative qualities about yourself. Think about the positive, think about the neutral, think about the negative, and weigh it in a balanced way. Now, the fourth thing that I think is important as far as expressing self-love and getting to that healthy place of expressing self-love as an artist and as a human being, the good news is that 9 times out of 10, you can change and you can improve and grow in areas that you dislike about your physical appearance. You can change and you can modify and improve things about you as far as your personal traits, as far as qualities about your inner self, as far as your negative habits. We can always grow. We're not perfect, so there's always things that we can be doing to improve. And that goes the same as an artist. There's different ways that you can strengthen your weaker areas as far as an artist, whether it be writing, whether it be learning a different instrument, whether it's thinking from a different perspective, drawing or painting with a different hand. Whatever the case may be, you can always improve, you can always work on something. At least 9 times out of 10, you have some control in changing that situation. That's good news. The fifth thing that I believe is important as far as expressing self-love and getting to a healthy self-love space as an artist is cutting out negativity and replacing it with positivity. When I say negativity, I'm talking about negative content, audio, visual content, negative people, places, things, negative habits, poor diet, poor workout regimen, drugs, hanging around negative, abusive people, injecting something into your body that's harmful. Cutting that out, and not just cutting it out saying I just won't do this, because it's kind of hard to focus on that. It'd be easier to replace it with something that's positive. Positive audio visual content, positive people, places, things, healthy foods, making sure that you're around people who are positive and productive, people that are supportive. It promotes healing, it promotes self-love. Case in point, if an artist is going through a breakup, there is one type of content that's being exported, and if an artist is infatuated with something, just newly fell in love and discovered something, just super head over heels, puppy love, wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, in love with something, there's another type of content that's being produced and exported. So again, cutting out negative people, places, things, and content, and replacing that with positive audio visual content, people, places, and things. You should sit back and reflect. Are there things that you feel are negatively influencing you? What are those things? And what can you do to replace them with positive alternatives? Last but not least, number 6, exploring who you were, journalizing it, exploring who you are right now, journalizing it, and who you will be in the future, journalizing as you go. My wife put me onto this. She's a heavy hitter on journalizing. And as an artist, it's really good when you're documenting your first works when you're getting started, or works that you've done maybe 10 years ago. More than likely, you're not in that same place. You're not creating that same type of content. Maybe your style has changed. Maybe you've grown more confident in who you are. Maybe your skills have increased in the content that you produce from back then till now. And then moving forward, do the same thing, because 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 15 years from now, hopefully you've improved as you've gone along. And it's so great to document, to revisit, to explore who you were, who you are, or the content that you have produced, the content you are producing, and you will be producing in the future as you go along. With that being said, I have a little something that I have written down. I'm kind of still in the works with some old and new stuff, new material that I'm blending it in. It's about my self-love, discovery, journey stuff. So I like for you to hear it. I believe that you can do the same thing. So here we go. I'm a cool breath of fresh air on a hot summer, a box cutter, 90s and early 2000s alternative rock lover, the great late bloomer, aim at your face straight shooter, not intimidated by hate or they rumors. I'm afraid of being forced to resort to violence, becoming a tyrant, living my life uninspired, one-sided, love unrequited, suffering in silence. 99.9% is still quite not it. My love is old school. It's so dope, forget a post, I'd rather show you. That's my go-to. My bars, a blend of soul food mixed with whole foods. I'm a Batman nerd that's so cool. I believe when it comes to art, there are no rules. And thinking outside of the box is a pro tool. Christ the lily of the valley, pox a rose that grew from concrete. I'm a palm tree born about an hour south of Palm Beach. God is my creator. I thank God I'm a creative. An ex-perfectionist as soon as my perspective switched. I'm an author, an artist, an activist, putting to work, research the stats for this. The king anointed me to bring rap justice, but I ain't 5'0" and I'm not Nas, yo. I'm just staying in my lane, trabajando, cada año, and ya know, me llamo, el africano, americano, oye, con increíble si es posible. No necesitan brutos terrible, todo el mundo juntos, believe me. DK, don't you ever compare somebody to me, see, I'm an entirely different species. Lil up north flavor, Lil Geechee, part human, part Marvel, part DC. I got my flows from Fiji. A gallon of greatness, leader of luxury. Fortune 100 companies couldn't afford a cup of me. In this game, LeBron James couldn't block me. Mayweather could never box me at his top speed. Major record labels can't stop me. They can't control me. They can't clone me. They can't copy. So go and ask any cardiologist. They can tell you that I put my heart in all of this. This is beyond profit and politics. This is bigger than critical validation, the industry adaptation. Because right now, there's too many ignorant opinions from critics. Too many publications with conflicts of interest in it. Too many social media mentions instead of lyrics. Too many people confusing classic with what's trending. Who said hip hop couldn't be revived? Who said every fan is deaf, dumb, and blind? Who said all rappers lacked a message and glorified crime? Who said Florida artists couldn't shine? Who said Justincredible never had to grind? Did they see my anxiety issues in Pepper Ponds back in 1999? Did they take a look at my checking account in 2009 when I can barely scrape to save a dime? Who said I ain't one of a kind? Who said I'm too late past my prime and right now ain't my time? Who said I ain't one of the greatest writers of all times, dead or alive? Who said that God didn't bless me with a beautiful mind and this wasn't all part of his divine design? Whoever told you that, you pay them no mind. You know they lying. I'm Justincredible, aka Mr. Real Passion Flow. This is art imitating my life. Let's go. With that being said, I'm Justin Lang, aka Justincredible, arts ambassador and creative arts teacher here at ACA, Atlantic Center for the Arts. This is our new web series, Creativity and Wellness with Justincredible. Make sure that you are not shy in those comments. I'm not lying. And make sure that you like, share, and subscribe in the comments. Again, we are trying to continue the dialogue, building an online community, and we want to spark creativity and a discussion about wellness and art. I love y'all. We out. Yeah.